Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to the COGG Monthly Let's Play. And there was much rejoicing. So we are super excited for all of you to be joining us today. We are doing another community spotlight. So when we started this yeah. Introductions. Hi everyone, I'm Caleb. Let's go Wes, you're next. Jonathan, why don't you introduce yourself briefly? So when we first started creating these Let's Plays, back in summer of 2020 when COGG was going digital and setting up our Discord and everything, we had this idea that we could do these Let's Plays that would talk about design and analysis and be a benefit to the community. But also, one of the things that we really cared about was getting to highlight games built by people in our community. And the very first Let's Play that we did, we got to do that, was with the Pedestrian long ago. Seems like, just 2020 feels like an eternity ago. Let's be real. But we've gotten to do a couple of these, and we're really excited to have Jonathan with us, representing his team. And we are going to talk about The Last Sunshine, Rekindled, which is coming out in 2 days. We'll talk more about that, but this is super exciting. It's a great launch for them. Hi Shield, welcome. Glad to have you here. And we're looking forward to this. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I will confess, I haven't actually played it before, so I am ready to get into it. I'm all downloaded, ready to go. So this is gonna be a lot of fun. So here we go. So we're talking about The Last Sunshine Rekindled, by Four Eyes Productions. Love the name. I also love the graphic that goes with it, by the way. We'll see it a little bit later at the opening of the game. And yes, releasing 2 days, March 22nd, on Steam primarily, right? Or just Steam? Yep. So yeah. Really cool. Go ahead, grab it. We are going to post the link to it. Wes, you at that? We'll post the link to the Steam page in the chat. We'll post it now and also later on. Just make sure you have it. But yes, Shield is very enthusiastically so excited about this. Yeah, it is such a monumental thing to launch a game, which Jonathan, you can speak to way more than I can, because I don't think I've technically ever launched a game. So yeah, fair. So just kind of like acquaint us with your game. Could you could give us a little bit of like a history on it, history on your team, where did this all come from, and a little bit of the journey that you've been on? Hold on a second, Jonathan. I just Shield says that we can't. No, did I do something wrong? I did something wrong.
Can't hear me?
Maybe not.
I can hear you, but I didn't get you on the stream.
So,
Oh, yeah. They said that
we can redo the intro and stuff. I'll redo the intro stuff. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
okay,
I got a friend of mine telling me neither John or I. Wait, that sounds from you, John. Now.
So everybody just got to listen to Caleb chatting into the ether.
I personally would like to hear more about Caleb, but no one's gonna know that because they can't hear me. I just want to hear the Caleb show. That's just me.
Just no
Oh,
S, no S.
Shield
Okay.
can hear Wes. Yeah, so they know. They know now, Caleb. They know they just want me to hear about Caleb and only Caleb.
All right.
So
Well,
it sounds like we're good.
so because technical difficulties, I always apologize for this, but this is hard. There's like I've got a whole audio board here with like multiple channels and things, and like, so thank you so much, Shield, for being online to tell us that it's not working correctly. We always appreciate that. So Jonathan,
Better
why
than
don't
2
you
hours from now discovering that.
100%, absolutely.
I know, right?
So Jonathan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, introduce your game, and talk a little bit about it.
Sure. So I'm Jonathan White. I'm the designer on The Last Sunshine Rekindled. I'm also project lead. We have a team of 5 people, 2 in America, 3 in Europe, and we've been working on this for a couple years now. So the game comes out March 22nd, as he said before, and so it's not technically our first game. So the first game we made was The Last Sunshine, and that was we put on Steam a couple years back, but the systems are not nearly as robust, and so long story short, we wanted to kind of revisit the idea and like beef it up a lot and like take it a little more seriously, and that's The Last Sunshine Rekindled. And the reason why it got like a rebrand like that is because Steam does not allow us to take down the old game. So we kind of wanted to keep the same name, but we had to change it. So that's why it's there. So I'm advising people to not buy The Last Sunshine. Well, actually, there's another game called The Last Sunshine. It's some Chinese game. I'm not saying to buy or not buy that one, but we also have a game called The Last Sunshine that's themed like our game. I'm saying do not buy that one. It's not being supported. So anyway, yeah, and then it turned to Rekindled, and so the kind of game it is a sorry, I lost track of what I said before. So the synopsis is that you play as a star, and it's the end of the universe, and you're struggling against the last bit of light to be found, and the gameplay is sort of a shoot 'em up and roguelite hybrid. So it's definitely very kind of bullet hell-y, but it is way more approachable than some of the Japanese stuff that you may have seen or played before, where there's like a million bullets on screen and anyone kills you instantly. It's not like that. There is chaos on screen, but it's easier to kind of pad your stats, and there's various play styles and ways to customize the various unlockable stars and so on. So that's the general idea.
Yeah, the interesting comment from Shield, he suggests that there might be a way to disable a game from being purchasable, potentially. So I don't know if that's something worth researching or not, but that's something Shield wanted to point out.
Gotcha.
But yeah, really excited. I'm actually really, really excited about this. Have been for a while, because bullet hell games are kind of one of my favorites. There's like platformers and then like bullet hells. So I'm pretty stoked about this. This is gonna be good.
Cool.
It's really cool too because Jonathan or some of you guys might know him as Hex on Discord. He's been showcasing this for years now online and seeing the progress in it and seeing it change and evolve. So it's really kind of cool. We get this big release like this and finally get to kind of show it and kind of see some of the stuff behind the scenes. So like, and the fact that you guys are also building it in Unity, which a lot of us in our community does stuff in Unity, it's kind of cool to see such a polished game like come into fruition and get to this point of being released. I know it's like a big thing next week. We're gonna have this out, and I know that you guys are even talking about your next game coming out too. You guys are talking about some cool stuff. So yeah, we'll be playing the game, talking about it, and kind of some of the features and whatever. But I mean, it'd be cool just to kind of get your behind the scenes documentary commentary, like
Sure.
notes too, because this was our chance to see that. So yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's cool.
Shield dropped a question here just before we slide into actually playing the game. What difficulties did you have launching Rekindled, and how did you overcome them? Broad question, but maybe that you might have like a snapshot or two.
The easy answer there is like a development question, but launching. So I guess as far as launching goes, I would say. I mean, I gotta say like the bugs. Like it's. I mean, when you get close to launch,
Yeah.
when you think you get to like the 95% mark, you're pretty much at like the 70% mark, and you don't realize it
Yes.
yet, or whatever.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so what it's just we got it to like, okay, we're getting pretty close, and then it would just unfold and unfold, and just more and more bull crap would just come out of it. So, and that was a difficulty, and how we got over it was just it was a combination of like perseverance and simplifying. We had to cut some things. I don't know. It was, and then like when we've done some planning for the second game, and we swore like 3 different blood oaths. Okay, we're never going to do this ever again, and we're going to make sure we avoid this complexity. And we're like, we're never. These are the mistakes we made. We're not going to do those ever again. I swear, my unborn child. So it's like, yeah, like
it makes me curious. What's an example of something that is a blood oath been sworn about?
okay. So the main blood oath that was sworn was we're not going to have. It's kind of a complex thing, but it's like we're not going to have so many overlapping complex systems. And when you
Okay.
get into the last Sunshine, it may become more apparent. But the basic idea is that we had a lot of cool ideas, and we were aiming for like I was aiming for complexity, which is not inherently bad, but I neglected the main idea of you can have several overlapping simple systems to create complexity. You don't have to overload yourself with complex systems, just in general. And so none of us had the foresight to see where that would take us, a year and a half out or whatever it is. So we're cutting back on that significantly for the next one.
It's definitely an easy rabbit hole to go down to because
Absolutely.
you make you're like, oh, that's not too complex, and you really
Exactly.
do feel that way, right? You're like, that's not so
You're
bad,
sure
and
of
then
it.
right,
You're sure of it at the time. You're absolutely positive, and no one has the wisdom to say wait. And so, and that's something I even encouraged our programmers specifically. I'll say like, if we have an idea, and it's like I say I want A, but like slightly different than A is attainable at way less the work, just say it. Don't be afraid to hurt my feelings. Just say, or I could say I want XYZ. You can say, Jonathan, you're an idiot. That's way too much work. You don't know what you're asking. Like, just please say that immediately. Don't be coy about it. Despite all of that, we still ran into those problems. So, but now we have a pretty strong sense of like what that complexity looks and feels like on the development side. So when we're planning the second game, we know just how simple to make things, comparatively speaking, and how to wind it all back, and it should be a much better estimate.
Well, and those things, arguably so, could not really mean too much until you get to a point where you're like, okay, we need to release this game. So then once you have that project like deadline, like you want to release it in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or whatever, at some point then you start to say like the systems need to be simple, for that sake, right? Otherwise you're gonna miss your deadline, or maybe you have a lot of bugs, right? That really make that project a lot longer. And I've seen that time and time again where like folks have said this one system in and of itself consumed like 25% of our game development cycle just because of how complex it is. So it is good to kind of keep those things in mind because they are cool, and if you have the resources and time to make them, great. But if you don't, which a lot of times that happens, like you realize you don't have as much time as you thought you had, then you just kind of have to make that choice, right? Like that, okay, the simple design is what's going to save us in the long run, because it's gonna get complex over time. They're just you kind of have to almost be sure that that's going to happen. That eventually, like, oh, we're just going to have a branching tree of five questions, right? you're like, that's not so bad, and then it ends up being like thousands of tree branches of dialogue that you now have to kind of parse through, and then bam, there's a bug, and now you have to parse through all that code, or trees or systems or whatever. So yeah, I mean, it totally makes sense. And it's just kind of like almost through experience that you kind of get a gauge
Mm-hmm.
of like what is simple and what isn't.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and I think experience is a super huge tool in learning how to overcome scope like that. I, that's one of those things, at least in my experience, especially on personal projects, is the scope creep is the project killer. It's the thing where you realize, I have gotten totally just buried in my big ideas, which video games isn't the only time that I get buried in my big ideas. I just went to Menards today and picked up a bunch of wood because I'm gonna make my son a bed, and I haven't done woodworking in years now. So we'll see if I buried myself in these projects. So, yes.
At 2 a.m., you hear a clunk and your bed falls apart. Your son rolls out of his new bed. No, I'm
Yes,
just teasing you.
I,
But
I,
yeah, that's why it's so important. So we
mm-hmm.
didn't even do, like, full disclosure, we didn't even do any planning for the last Sunshine. We were just like, and go. And that was stupid. So we're doing like a lot of planning for the second game, and we're like, all right, so we're gonna write down all the cool things that we'd like to have. And then what we've done is we're in the process of identifying, what are the most essential things that we want in it. And the trick is to, as a designer, as a team, really, is to understand, not only what are the most important things, but what you can extrapolate from those things to fill in as you get more time. So you want to undershoot pretty hard with a quality product, and then go back in and start filling in the cracks with cool stuff that you can, like, adjust something to get this new thing, or or to stretch content in a certain way that fills it in an interesting way. So it's a
yeah,
balancing act. But yeah,
Well,
I
that
so we're
mean
gonna.
that gets back to your other point about like things taking different amounts of time. I think there's actually, it's called the Pareto principle, I believe, colloquially known as the 80-20 rule, which is 80% of the work takes 20% of the time, and 20% of the work takes 80% of the time. And I hear that all the time in software development. It's like that, whether it's web design or game design, it's that getting to that actual full-on bug-free polished phase is just a ton of work.
yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean it's time is a currency, right? So it's you have to know how much it costs. And once you kind of play around with it enough, you do kind of discover what that cost is, and you only have so much of it. And you can sometimes get away with a little bit of shaky bugs here and there, but we're getting to a stage now where you just got players who just
Your players
they're
will
fed up with it.
absolutely push it to the brink.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
hmm
absolutely.
you kind of have to bake that in because there's a lot of people who are just like, I got this thing. I was like, they found this bug that we found once, you know, years ago, and now they just won't stop complaining about it. I'm like, crap.
Yeah, and the
So
solution
yeah,
to
it
that is
happens.
just keep it simple. I think this is the solution: is you keep it simple, and you've got to, like, make it airtight,
Hmm.
basically.
Hmm.
So because you're right. If a person finds the bug and then it goes on Reddit or it goes on whatever, then it's like, it's not just this bug that one person found. It's a bug that one person found and 50,000 people know about it. So
Right,
that, that
right.
can.
Yeah.
So yeah, anytime like the ante is upped, you just got to simplify, pull back, and just kind of,
Hmm.
that's how I see it.
Well, let's
Yep.
go ahead and get into the game here. What I'm going to do is I will transition to the next phase, which will be just a black screen. So just lay expectations so that we know that there's nothing going wrong here. It will be a black screen, and then the opening cinematic of the game will play, and we'll try and be quiet during it. And then when that finishes, we'll get to the main game screen, and then I'll bring our lovely faces back into view. So here we go. Fingers crossed this works.
Lovely, he says.
Before the beginning, all stars were of one body and mind. They were the seed of life. Outside was darkness and void. There was no life. There was no light. It was empty. When the time was right, the bringer of dawn encouraged his children to spread their light and energies across the void. The stars, incalculable in number, yet each one being unique, used their talents to spread light and dance. They encouraged one another as they reached further and further into the void. With each passing eon, as far as one could see, light filled the void and gave life to new hope. But it would not last. The light began to recede. The darkness pushed back. And one by one their dances ended. Their radiance dimmed. And what was once full of life and energy was reclaimed by the darkness.
Awesome.
Oh. Yeah, I gotta say, from time and time again, the visuals and the audio are just stellar in this game. I think you guys really have an awesome team.
Yes. 100% agreed. I'm gonna put us right there for a minute. floating heads. All right. Super cool. Yeah, that opening cinematic is a delight to watch. I've watched it a couple times now, and each time it's just, I got chills the very first time. I was like, ooh, I liked it. It was very good. All right, let's go ahead and stellar. I didn't mean that, Shield, but that good. I accidental pun. Accidental pun.
Stellar pun.
The voice actor really carries it, honestly. So we hired this guy from South Africa. He had a really distinct voice, and it just felt like that was the guy we wanted. So
awesome.
Resonated with me.
That was good.
It's cool.
I'm gonna start a new game and probably almost immediately start moving heads around.
It's a race to the top.
Got me sandwiched there.
Like, put you all the way over here.
Now I feel lonely.
The universe.
It's cold over there.
Universe.
Need to be together for warmth.
I'll shrink all of us down just to give us a little more realty. All right, I am moving. All right.
The text there said, darkness has taken root here. Find the source and destroy it. You were busy, so I just wanted to let you know about that.
Yes. Okay, great. I am using the controller. Just anybody. Awareness. Ooh, there's all there. I like that background, though.
Oh, and that's right. You said you've never played this, right, Caleb?
This is my first time playing it. I have seen it many times, but I haven't actually held the controller in my hand and played the game before.
Well, one of the things I noticed right off the bat is you guys updated the UI since the first iteration, which, you know, to be fair, is a long time ago. But I think that looking at the UI at the bottom left corner has been like greatly improved, and seeing all that new updates was awesome, because they were just numbers before, I think, at one point in time.
Well, the original idea was to have like little to no UI at all, but again, the complexity grew, and we're like, well, crap, now we have to have UI. So, well, my general thought is that while the additions are generally good, and the mistakes will not be apparent to people until I talk about them, there are some features we could have consolidated a little bit, but the end result's still really good, I think.
Yeah, there's always push and pull.
Yeah, I'm just like super nitpicky because like I'm so close to it.
Yeah.
So I can like talk about the problems like longer than anything, because I'm really, really close to what's going on in every little tiny micro pixel
At what stage did you start actually including an intentional tutorial?
We've had that for the longest time, but we updated the tutorial. Maybe 6 months ago or so,
Okay.
roughly.
Inspect your surroundings.
Yeah, it looks like you have little tags that pop up when you're searching around on the left D-pad.
Which you can
So-
toggle on and off that ability.
I might
Okay.
actually switch to the keyboard. I'm noticing there's a little bit of like a hitch, a little bit of a dead zone on my controller there, that it's kind of jittering along. And
Are you bumping your mouse? Because if you touch an input, it will switch over to that and
not
back.
not touching mouse or anything else. I will say, like, this is a not particularly good controller. It's like a cheap
Gotcha.
20.
Yeah, it works well on keyboard and mouse as well.
Yeah, I may do that. Does that just swap the input keys to left and right? Let's see, left, right, and Q. Yeah, I got it. Great. Okay, well, we'll just go with that. Dangerous
Remnants
wood.
from the old war. Yeah, I really like the particles.
The particles
it's
and
obviously-
the sound. That sound
Yeah.
that the bullets make. Okay, so we usually like to say, okay, let's do the 10-second impression. We've come into the game. We've messed around with it a little bit. What's the first impression? The first impression of this is so good. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Like, just from a visual perspective and the way things feel, like that sound. Because one of the primary things that a player does when they're doing a shmup is they're shooting. I mean, like, shooting and dodging bullets are the two primary things. And there's all of our other ancillary things going on. But, like, those two things are the primary
forever.
things. Forever. Like, for almost
Yeah.
every second of the game is your shooting. And so it's got to feel like something that you could enjoy doing for, 10 hours straight. And that sound is so good. It makes you feel the bullet. Like, I don't have a controller in my hand. Like, I'm not there's no rumble or anything like that. And I think actually a rumble would probably get too much after a while. But just because of the way that bullet sounds, is it just, you feel the hit. Like, it's so good. I really, really, really like it.
We went through a number of sounds because, like, they would have just a touch more tenor kind of sound to it, or that's not the right word, treble, I guess. I'm not a sound guy. and it would just be slightly different, and it would great. You would just be like, this is annoying, I can't deal with this anymore. So we had to really kind of like tame it quite a bit, because you do hear it a lot, and it's like it has to be kind of a low, comfortable buzz in the back of your head when you're playing.
Yeah, and I think you guys, you got it. Like, absolutely, this is very satisfying. Movement is straightforward. The parallax in the background. I mean, I'm a sucker for parallax just in general, but like, there's so many layers going on there. It looks really great. The 10-second impression of this game is very, very good. I really like it.
Yeah, our artist Danny, he I think he built like almost the entire tutorial. He built the new version of it, and he's big on the particles and parallax and all that stuff. He's good at that stuff and is excited about it. So turned out very, very well.
I'm kind of curious what it will look like when there's lots of bullet hell, as if it might get too busy. Like how
it gets busy.
Yeah,
it gets
right.
busy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
Something else I noticed too is you have this ring around you. Is that the area of attack? I also noticed you got this line coming from you too, from the arrow.
The ring is his inspection radius.
Okay.
It's what you can detect around you, basically. It's a little like informational thing to you can see what's going on.
Ooh, that was
Oof.
bad. A dead.
So the purple bullets do more damage.
Ah, I was like, oh, these are purple. I will go through these ones instead of the red ones.
I've never seen one die in a tutorial before.
No, it's good to. Well, that brings up something else. Is like,
Oh no, I'm dead.
you know, I
Okay,
I
here we go.
know
It goes.
I
Yeah,
know
you go back
that-
into it.
Speed run. Here we go.
I know in our conversations, Jonathan, that you were talking about like how you kind of want this to be what's a roguelike and a bullet hell, right? But you want it to be adaptable enough to where if you're really into like especially like a bullet hell like game, an advanced user, you can pick this up and move through it with a lot of like just challenge and interest, as well as inviting folks who haven't used and played those types of games before and still be able to ease into them pretty easily for the most part. That was kind of one of your design goals in this, right?
Yes. So as the, we'll just say like a more casual player, as they advance in the game, they're going to find lots of ways to how do we say this? There's just various stars and play styles, and you can create a generous, buffer between you and death based on how you build your character. So,
right.
But then the veterans of the genre are going to probably just get a lot of speed and a lot of damage, and try to roast things as fast as possible. That's also fine too, but there's more ways to play than that. So
it's like taking advantage of the I'm pretty good at dodging bullets, so I will build myself to take advantage of the fact that I'm good at dodging bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, shield. Okay, good. More shield.
Oh.
Ooh, okay.
Big red or small purple?
Yeah. I'm like really nervous about the purple ones now, though. So. That's an interesting design choice of making your player choose between, like, two bad situations and having to decide.
That so there's micro moments like this a lot in this game for most stars that are medium or larger, where you're gonna have to decide what damage to take. So you can't. Now some stars are so nimble, and some of the abilities make you so nimble that you can probably avoid all damage all the time, but it's still going to require a good reaction, a bit of foresight into a given moment.
Oh.
That was very satisfying.
That's cool.
Well set up. That was well set up. Like really
oh crap
demonstrate.
moment.
Well, the
oh crap, this really is a bullet hell.
and you are super powerful. Like that moment of being like, this is the situation this is built for.
And that probably tells you that kind of thing can happen in the future, right? So like later you could just be strolling along and then all of a sudden you have an event happen like that, and you have to kind of think on your feet. So
I'm kind of curious. Have anything?
I think you somehow skirted the edge in a weird way. Just leave it and come back to it.
All right.
You turn around now.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I don't know what you did. That's the first time I've seen that. You somehow I don't know what you did. That was interesting. You somehow managed to get that UI to disappear.
Pure skill.
We're seeing a lot of firsts here.
This is one of those dangers when people play your game.
This is such an annoying phenomenon. You can play your game a million times, and some guy, you don't know who it is. Never before they just go, "What's this button doing?" Your game's just like suddenly it's upside down. You're like, "How did you do that? What's going on?"
Yes. Yes.
Such a bizarre phenomenon.
Durability, resolve, agility, endurance. So let's just take a look at this for a second. So I see this
is your skill tree.
This was simplified, right, from once long ago?
So this is like a minor spoiler, but you unlock additional pieces to this over time.
Oh,
So there's like
okay,
a whole
okay.
list of unlocks
Because
you're
I've
going to
seen
get
one
into.
that was like it's very full. Okay.
When you have the full tree unlocked, it's fairly big. We had to simplify it because it was too much. People would, when you see the whole tree at one time, people were just like their brain would fry. It'd be like click, 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 whatever. They would just click whatever and just get past it. Which was
that, and they're probably, they could spend. You could easily. It's like setting up a character in a game. Like you could spend easily an hour working on your character, and as you really want them to get into kind of the meat and potatoes at some point, right? So you want them to like. I mean, if that's what they're interested in, reading a whole skill tree, they could do that. But at some point, you wanted to get into the game so they can see how these skills take effect and spend time in that too. So, yeah.
Yeah, and character creators, like if it's really robust, it's like it fries my brain. So I just go like a preset because like when there's too many options, and I'm talking like you've got like 30 sliders and like 60 hairstyles. I just kind of go like, all right, I need to get past this because I can't spend an hour doing this.
There was one that was like, it's a. I'm trying to remember which game this was. I think it was a Final Fantasy, or maybe it was one of the Tales of, Trails of. Anyway, it was like a grid, and the grid was like the same, I think, for all of the characters, but you would start at a different point on the grid from each other, and then as you unlocked a square, the two neighbor squares became unlockable next, and so you could kind of like branch out, but every character could be basically infinitely customized. That was a little much. I don't remember which game that was.
Yeah, I think the design of a reveal as you go is always kind of a better design, because I mean, if people want to see more, they'll eventually get there. But if people are just overwhelmed, you're kind of almost doing it for their sake.
Yeah, this is primarily a feature to make it easier for first timers, because once you unlock more of the tree, at the rate you go, you're kind of familiar with what's going on. You got to ease people into the complexity a lot of times.
Yeah.
Now, can I only upgrade at one of those locations?
Yes, but you will have access to a hub, and it will be in a relatively easy to access area. So,
gotcha. Yes, the source of darkness, the umbral host. Oh, that looks great.
I like this
great.
I think I've said this before, but like whoever does your artwork for the game, if it's just one person, a couple of people, like does a great job, just kind of creating some really cool, like abstract monsters and visuals.
Yeah.
Just, it's kind of
it's one person. I think he's done like literally everything. Maybe not all the UI.
Yeah.
And it goes gray and fades into the. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
I love it.
cool.
It's so good. I'm sorry. I was literally like. That was very satisfying. All right. F to restore the sanctuary. Use a cosmic bridge to return to this area in the future. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, so you can think of this as like your hub, and then there's your passive tree again.
Yeah.
So you'll come back to here
Get
frequently.
more stardust. I thought I did. Cosmic bridge. And now it's all light instead of dark.
Oh snap!
Well, that's the kind of cool thing, is this is almost like a story for those interested in that, like talking about the inception of the universe, or how it's kind of created over time, and you kind of reveal this as you start to progress and move through. Here's your difficulty.
Okay. Yep. So now this is the the normal game mode that you'd play normally.
It's 25% of cores. So I don't know what a core is yet, do
I? You've not seen one yet.
Okay. And then these are locked, I'm assuming. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this is great. So I'm gonna ask What inspired the game?
That's a hard question to answer.
Hmm.
Because like the original version was like a really crappy prototype that I made myself, and it was like I was just tinkering with Unity, honestly, and I had a friend make like a particle effect for like a sun. I was like, yeah, it's a sun, and also you shoot, light because why not? And um, uh, side note, if you don't know anything, something is just use your inspector tool and you can see what it is.
Oh, boss portal.
hmm And so we basically just like I basically just made this really crappy basic version of the game like this, and it looked nothing like this at all. I mean, the only similarity was that in the center of the screen there was a yellow dot. Basically, that's the only thing that's comparable. But I don't know. It's kind of morphed over time. Slowly, it morphed into something bigger and cooler.
Yeah. Yeah, you get more teams on it, and you start to kind of progress through, and you're like, hey, we should actually have a story about this, and you kind of like add that, makes sense of things, though. I just love all this Stardust, like.
It's very satisfying.
It's very
Yeah.
satisfying. That collection again, like the sound, the collection sound, that little ding 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 ding. It's like serotonin going off in my brain.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of explore this area first. Oh, there's a bug. Oh, there's a bug. It was a very fast-moving bug. Oh, this area is bigger.
So at this point, the typical game flow is that you're going to be dumped into randomly generated levels, and the threats and the rewards will be random. And the thing that he picked up in the beginning, he didn't get a chance to see. He just kind of grabbed it. That was a remnant of Titan. So when you collect the amount of remnants required to unlock a star, then the progression menu has it available for unlock, and you unlock with cores. So you'll see those as you play. And at any point you find a boss portal, you can go into the boss portal, but it's a one-way trip. So make sure you get what you want before you leave, which generally means, get a bunch of Stardust, upgrade your star, and then head on out.
Yeah, kind of like don't fight Ganon until you've gotten all the relics and stuff.
Yes, except that in roguelite fashion, you have one life, and once you die, that run is over. It's a hard stop to your run. But you will upgrade and unlock new features to improve your run, your following runs.
Okay. Yeah, that's something interesting. I'm curious to kind of dive into a little bit to the progression and what that looks like between runs. I think that for
once you complete a loop, it'll make sense.
Yeah, sure. I think that for me is one of the things that I enjoy most about roguelikes. I think of like old school roguelikes, like Rogue, for instance. I mean, it was total fresh start every time, and I always felt like it was obviously a good like inception of an idea because it generated.
It's a bit much for me too. Yeah, starting over totally from scratch every time is like, okay, hold on.
It's really hard, and you're so at mercy to the RNG, right? Whatever you roll really has a massive impact on that run, and so you could get a great run, or you could get a terrible run, and it has nothing to really do with your skill. It's more what your roll was. Whereas because when you have a background progression system, your RNG on a given run might be bad, and you might be like, ugh, but you're still like going somewhere. It's still inching you towards progress in another layer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our RNG is not so intense. It's not like you're not going to have so much of like a crazy unfair run or a crazy overpowered run. It's still primarily set in skill-based gameplay. But you can't, I mean, if you have your star at a pretty high level and you know what you're doing in the passive tree, like you're going to basically stat check light difficulty, but not so easily on dark difficulty. So I'm not. Things can be too random for me personally, and at that point, I kind of shy away from that. So I like, yeah, but like, I mean, all the enemies that you're dealing with are random, the rewards and stuff, but it's not so random that you're going to get like some insane boss level 1, like a room over from the start, and then you just get deleted instantly. Like that's not going to happen.
And then,
Right.
sorry, I don't mean to push this up, but just for our public audience. So the RNG stands for run and gun?
Oh,
No, it means random number generator. It basically just means
Oh, okay.
randomized. I'm using it in a
I've heard
colloquial sense, which means random aspects in the game is what I mean.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that's also how I was using it as well. So, yeah. Thank you for calling that out, Wes. That's important.
Nope, that's good. Clarity is important.
Absolutely.
So the little Stardust he's finding like in the level, like those are randomly thrown in there. So there's a core that will not come to you. Like only the Stardust will come to you.
Gotcha. I like these little nooks.
That nook is just for you. You can sit there and hibernate if you want.
Yeah, see, the problem with nooks is that I will go for them because like, I have to explore every corner.
There are locked chests, and you have to find a key, and sometimes those keys are pretty stubbornly hidden with like how it gets randomly thrown in there. So the inspection tool is nice to kind of fish out some of those little things that you can't quite see very well. But it can get a little busy, so you might want to turn it off sometimes in the thick of combat. I tend to flick it on and off when I'm moving around.
Give me all of the UI all the time. I've been playing this game where they have a diverse player base, and so they care a lot about giving some players want no UI at all and have everything just be diegetic. No.
Almost got screwed by your nook.
Yeah. And
Back up in a nook.
some players want everything to be like, give me all of the details, give me the health bars, give me the, all of the stuff. That's the kind of player I am. So I appreciate being able to turn all of those knobs on and like see all of the inner workings of everything. And some people are like, no, get rid of it all. Which is actually one reason I really appreciate that you actually have this as a toggle, to be able to have players, make that decision about when they want to use the inspection and when they just want to explore the world without it. Is there a mechanical thing that the inspector does besides just giving you information?
Just info for you is all it is.
Or sneak up here. Celestial Forge.
And so yeah, fusions modify whatever skill you apply them to.
Okay, that makes that clear in my head. Guessing did what? Did we lose Wes? I think we lost Wes.
Wes is absent.
Oh, I just got a text from him. Because I looked
Oops.
over and I realized that something had gone wrong on the where the heads
That's
were.
like
You're
that
like
is gnarly like line.
because you're like
down.
halfway between where you used to be. Oh no. Shoot. No, I'm texting Wes. I'm like, sorry.
Goofing with
Okay.
the artifact.
Let me temporarily expand this. Does that work? No, that doesn't work. Why did that not work?
Oh whoa, my head's crazy right now.
Here, let me do
Like scrunched together like I was a brainlet a moment ago.
I'm gonna turn.
Did you lose internet?
He said he lost internet. Yeah. Just for the moment. Oops. All right. Well, hopefully
All right,
Wes.
Wes.
will be able to join us again in a moment. He is working on resetting things.
That's always a bummer. Could have happened to me too. Still may.
Yeah, it's always the it's the hard one. You never know. Nice. So I've set both of these to this one, right? Is that what I've done here?
Yes.
Okay.
So now we'll travel faster and shoot us a little bit slower.
I like
Likes them
that.
fast boys.
That's pretty cool. Right. I think I've found everything in the level. Now, what do the little gates do? So there's like the boss gate, but then there's also these other gates.
So those, yeah, so yeah, just go ahead and access that one right there.
Bridge.
You'll see it. So now you're back in the hub area and you can adjust
Okay, I
stuff.
see. Yeah, so now that I've collected more things... Oh, I'm starting over again. Right. So this...
You can select a bunch at one time and apply it all at the same time.
Oh, can you? Is that just control or... Oh, I see.
No, you just click. You just click.
Okay, I see. Okay, I like that a lot. Yeah, I was going to say, ooh, this is going to
Yep.
get really intensive doing this every run. Ability, that one. Art. Developing some familiarity with this would be good. Shield.
There's a pattern to it. It's not all. It's and the color denotes what kind of node it's going to be.
Let's see. Patient shield. Let me do speed.
He's back
Wes,
potentially.
loading.
He's
Okay.
something.
He's spinning.
Not sure he's back, but he's something.
All right. I won't bore everyone in here too much longer. I can spend way too much time on these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a thing you want to you can kind of sit and chew on it for a bit. It's not, terribly conducive for like a quick demo, unfortunately, but that's okay. I think we understand that. You're just kind of plugging away at it.
Cosmic
So
braid.
the little arrow shows you where there's more to explore.
Okay.
And you
That's
that's how you
helpful.
teleport.
I
Yep.
like that. Perfect. Cool. So all of the cosmic bridges just take you back to that hub.
Yep.
There we go.
Take you back to the hub.
And so cores, I'm assuming, are a secondary currency that last between runs.
Yes, it is the persistent unlock currency. So what you unlock with cores is permanent, a permanent upgrade to your whatever you get.
Sake of. I do really like that sound. Oh, wait, he went away and now you have the weird squish head again.
Yeah, I'm playing with it right now. get like the right look, and I can kind of get like a small head kind of look. It's kind of fun. It's a bit goofy, but I'm easily amused by things like this.
Sorry, I feel like I should quickly adjust back
I
to
think you
it.
should leave it. No, you should leave it. It's more funny this way. Makes a more memorable episode.
Void Heart.
Oh geez, what's this right here? Some
gotta-
kind of mystery.
What's the experience like for you watching other people play your game?
It's generally very positive because it's fun to watch people enjoy it. But the concern of like them not getting it or being lost in the games in some way is always a concern. So you've got a mini boss here. These can spawn randomly, and you can decide to challenge it when you choose.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted, he says. If you get nice and close to it, you can dump your big skill on him, then back. He's got 12,000 life. But you're bringing the deeps with your 78.5 power. Power increases all damage.
I did grab a lot of that, yeah.
There he goes. Well done.
I did
I don't
not
think you got hit
receive
once.
any damage at all.
That's just how we do it here at
I
COGG.
feel pretty good about that. I'm being real here.
Nice. First mini boss, first one down.
That felt
There's
really
a wide
good.
variety of mini bosses that may spawn in levels, so you can search the nooks and crannies to find them.
Man, that felt really good. And it felt like there was absolutely challenge there, but there was also a pattern and a way through.
Sure.
I really liked that. Really liked that a lot.
So before you go in the boss portal, you should go back to the bridge to spend what you've collected. It's a one-way trip.
All right. Let's see. Passive tree. Let's see. Let's go down this road. Right.
Yeah, here are your attack skills. You can modify which skills have fusion, which ones don't. That's interesting, yeah.
Oh, that there's... Yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, it looks good. Like it. Liking the movement speed, too. Alright, let's go and do this boss. Ready.
Alright, let's do it. Good luck. You might need it.
Oh, boy.
The ante's gonna be upped, I promise.
Oh, shoot, I just switched which button does which attack. That's what that was.
That's alright, you still got both attacks, just reverse it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
You can manage.
Actually, I almost prefer it this way.
Ooh, oh snap. You can do that right off the bat if you want. You can switch things around.
Like the Finn. Prince Veracity, Devourer of Dreams.
Hide your
Devour my dreams.
kids and hide your dreams. So here you can see he's got 40,000 life, so it's quite a bit more than the mini boss, but
I actually took a hit that time. I'll admit. There's the purple guys.
stay clear of them. You've got a total of 188 life and 146 shield. I believe that purple size will do 150, so you're looking at it. It's going to chunk you pretty hard if you get hit by that one.
Oof. A lot going on here. You were not kidding, sir.
He says you came into my domain.
My Q. Why isn't the Q working?
No mana. You don't have enough mana.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Ugh. I That's the problem. Dang it.
Took the path of most resistance and then paid the price.
Ah.
But that's okay. So now that your run is over, you can hit continue, and you'll see what you've been able to pick up. So you've leveled up to level 9, and you have a new attack skill available, and then those stats on soul have increased. And you came out with 3 cores, so you lost 1 of the 4 you had, so you have 3. And then you can click on the spend core button. And then here are a list of available unlocks as of now. So you've got drops, which I recommend getting a handful of those at first. And then you've got, you found a utility skill remnant, which is regeneration, which makes it available to unlock.
Oh, interesting.
And then
so what you're doing is you collect these, and you can then unlock them as you collect them.
And when things are unlocked, they become available in the run.
Okay.
Available for a run, I should say.
Oh, okay. All right. I see.
So you can see the passage tree upgrade is 75, so it's a pretty steep price. And so here's a little tip against the first boss. So when he goes into phase 2, there are those what we call organs. They're on the side, and they shoot at you and make things harder. You can hide behind them, and you are pretty well protected. You can also destroy them to get drops and cores, but you lose that quadrant for cover. So there's some options there.
Go with health regen. Right. All right, and here we have remnants. So I got
you found a
remnant of Titan. Gotcha. Okay.
Yep, you found one in the wild. It happened to spawn for you, so you snagged that one.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna take a second here and just kind of think through some of this. This is really good. I really like this. I mean, it's a shmup with roguelike. 2 things I like. I think Wes is coming back, so I'm to fix this again.
Goes my brainlet ahead.
I really like the. I feel like how you've done the progression is a little bit different than in other things I've seen, and I'm trying to put my words together. It's always hard to
So go ahead and unpause and hit the inspect tool, the inspect button. So your stats there on the left have improved, or your power stat is improved. So that's one of the stats that goes up with every star, and your health and mana are now, your base health and mana are now higher, and your base health regeneration due to leveling.
Gotcha. Okay, so those.
So if you notice in the
okay, so there's a lot of there's a lot of progression stuff going on here.
Yeah, so if you notice in the selection screen when you pick soul, there are these stats that are called stat multipliers.
Okay.
And souls are pretty Mario-esque in that they're kind of like in the middle, jack of all trades, master of none sort of array.
Right.
But that influences any kind of stat that you receive from any source. So, for example, if you have a health that says, so his health regeneration is 1.1. So if you gain health regeneration, it's actually at 1.1 times the amount that you received from the passive tree or a drop or any other source. And so each, and in different stars, differing amounts of that stuff. So it's like another way to further differentiate different ways to play.
This one's a locked chest, so I have to find the key.
Locked chest, so you need a key for that one. Yep. It's a tier 2, which is a nice spawn in level 1, so it should be full of goodies. You know, another one right here. So you're looking for 2 keys, so that's a nice little reward, provided you can find keys. Keys are not carried over between levels, so make sure you use them.
It was hiding behind that terrain there. Now, do these, is there, I guess that just had, the question I was going to ask was about, if those little arm tentacly things had, stuff hidden behind them.
Yeah, they often do.
Yeah, I asked, as I started to ask that question, it broke open and gave me stuff. So I was like, all right.
Hit one below. Use it. It's called a seed coil. If you blow the seed up, you get a bigger reward. A little plant-like prop there.
This one right here.
Yep. Shoot the seed. Get some goodies from that guy. Higher drop rate on basic drops and that sort of thing.
I'm very focused. I thought
That's
I had
alright.
that boss, and now I have this, like, I must defeat him.
On round 2, baby, let's go. A little stronger and a little wiser this time, so you might make it this time, you know?
Right. I prided myself on when I first played, what was it? Hades. If you're familiar with Hades. First time I played Hades, I believe I made it through the first boss on the first try.
I didn't. I don't think I did. Like that woman that, like, oh,
Maybe-
Hades, you come
maybe I
again, and
did.
she's like, we gotta fight.
I did run
Mel,
into
was
a
her name
problem.
Mel?
Yeah, Mel. I did run into a problem in that one. Well, no, a problem. So one of the things they do with Hades is story progression happens depending on how many runs you do. But I
Yeah,
kept
it's
having
very well
these
done.
really long runs. And so my friend, who would frequently die earlier than I would, actually got further in the story than I did much more quickly because
No, because he kept going back to hear
he
more
kept
story.
going back.
That's funny. So because you rolled the same fusion, you can upgrade it. Yep.
Yeah, I'm
It won't.
doing that because I like this one. Whoa, look at those.
I might get to breakneck speeds before too long.
Got my passage again. Let's see. Be a little bit more health this time.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you an advisement here. Yeah, hang out in the health and health regen area and see what that does for you.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going. I was
So you
like,
see that note up there in the top right corner there?
yeah.
We get that one too. So here's like a special effect here.
Bonus health generator. Okay, got it.
So the higher your health value, the more that will give you additional health regeneration. Particularly good on Titan, a star that you can unlock fairly early. So you got a new attack skill because you leveled up, so you have a new option here if you want to try this one out.
I gotcha. Okay, so that's what ended up happening was I didn't know what I was doing and I swapped.
Boom, shotgun.
I do not like that. Personal preference, but there's nothing to beat this. I'm all about this.
Gotcha.
All right, we gotta find some keys. I'm gonna check in.
Looking for keys, Wes.
Yeah. No update from Wes. Sorry, Wes. Feel bad.
I think I'm back.
Wait, you're here?
In spirit.
I think so.
All
We
right.
won't see his picture, so we can't prove it. It might just be a ghost.
I think I messed up your image stuff
It's all right.
by signing out. So that's my bad.
We got you covered.
I wish I could say the same. My internet's been just
Okay.
not fun.
All right. Everybody's back. Yay!
Yay.
Yay!
So
Hey,
we
guys.
made a go at the first boss, but we died. But then we unlocked some stuff, and we leveled up our
And Caleb is committed.
IRL, the last Sunshine experience, and we got
What
some
Okay.
stats,
stuff
so
I
he's going to give it
see.
another shot.
A key.
Cool.
Got the key.
I have the key.
Make sure you unlock the big chest first.
I guess I should go do that, shouldn't I? So this was the tier 2 chest over here.
You got it.
What?
Run away, Mimic.
That is not. You knew that was coming.
I did not. We can't tell. I mean, I think there is a very, very slight difference in the way the chest looks, but I don't even know what the difference is, to be honest. It's okay. You got some goodies still, and we got a new
Endure skill remnant.
utility skill remnant. So, when you reach a certain level with any star, you will gain access to utility skills, and utility skills are shared among any star can use them.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
Whereas, so this solar burst skill, it kind of like nukes the whole screen. That's a soul like specific thing.
Specific skill. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
We call those star skills, so those are like unique to the different stars. And the attacks that you have as well. These like attacks that you're throwing out right now, like those basic attacks, those are unique to soul as well.
Gotcha. Yeah. Makes sense. I have some very intense shots right now.
Yeah, you are throwing down right now. Oh, I think this is the same boss. You get the same boss, you can take him on.
Yeah.
Wes, he's dying to show you how he killed this boss without taking any damage. He's going to do it again with no pressure right now.
Yes.
So watch carefully. Watch him master at work.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
Oh snap! You're going to break the game with
Yes!
velocity.
All right, here we go.
I'm
You
not
ready
sure what's
for
going to happen,
this?
to be honest.
All right,
Who needs
let's do it.
frame rate? Oh, you just you're great with this, right? This boss, you have to just
Yeah, no pressure or anything. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna. I made it.
There we go. Oh, you're getting pushed further down.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Gotta recover somehow. Got to bite a bullet here soon, I feel like.
I'm gonna bite a bullet.
You took a hit. You hit a shield though, so it's okay.
Come on. Just getting my.
How do you back out there? I just realized an interesting phenomenon in this boss. It gets harder to navigate the bullets as you go further down.
I have to break through again.
Oof.
I know.
Took two like a champion.
I know. I just had to do it.
Those HP regens catching his health bar back up, so.
I'm gonna blame.
Oh, you know what you
Wes for
didn't do?
this.
You didn't. Last time you dumped your nuke on him, you didn't do it this time. That's why it's taking longer.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't as pretty as last time, but you did it.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's what counts, is you did it, and you got a core.
Blech.
he's like, I'm not happy with my performance.
I'm not happy with my
performance.
performance. My performance is a disappointment.
You win some, you lose some. Well, in this case, you won both, but you weren't one of the beautiful people when you did it.
We lost Wes again. I just realized.
Yeah. He is just... His internet self is not long for this world.
Dang.
Rip in pieces, Wes. You will be missed.
We've had Luwashi has joined us. There's the boss. Let's see. All right, we didn't roll again, but let's grab that. I'm not going to use it. There's a purple one. No way, I've looked through this whole map and I didn't see another key.
So press the other side of the control pad. It should bring up a map.
The other side of the what?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're on keyboard and mouse, so press M for map. I think it's M by default.
Oh, there's a little.
There's an arrow right there. Yep.
Yeah.
So if you want to teleport there, you can teleport with the thing
That's true.
back
That's
to the
right.
hub. You can also spend your stuff. Don't
Yeah.
hit the boss portal though.
I know. How do I? Okay, F. shows
Delicate
the Cosmic
operation.
Bridge.
Cosmic Bridge. I think you're safe. I think you are safe.
All right. Let's see here. Grab that one. That one.
Sitting at almost 300 life right now, which is nice. Nope, you could choose one or the other. He goes with life. 328.8, 11.2 regen.
All right.
We head north.
Shield says that it really likes the music. It's very mysterious.
Yeah, it's good. We've got a lot of good tracks.
You get it just right. There's like you can actually shoot through this.
You know, as I'm seeing you do this, I'm thinking that we should probably put a limit on the bullet speed because it's traveling so fast now. We're hitting so a lot of the slower attacks. It makes sense to have these like high values, but like the ones that are already fast, it's like we're getting to breakneck speeds, and I think you're going so quick that it can't register the collider between the bullet and the environment.
Yeah, there actually is a calculation you can run. I forget what the exact thing is that can actually check for that. It's a collider setting, I think. Might just be as simple as like a toggle. There's my key. Let's see what the Celestial Forge gives us. An upgrade. The other one, anyway. Just a raw projectile attack rate. Yeah, I could have just used the Celestial Bridge. Oh, well.
And a key, that's good.
That's another mimic.
Oh, you got unlucky. 2 of them, huh? That's alright. He's only a tier 1. He's not too bad. Easy. Another Endure Remnant. Another core. Yeah. Always welcome. You got 7 cores now. Almost twice what you had last time.
Nice. Continuous collider checking versus discrete, Shield says, and then add interpolation or extrapolation. to.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Alright.
One of our programmers. That has been forwarded to the appropriate people, Shield. Thank you for your input.
Wait, we might have Wes back again.
Wes just comes and goes and works mysterious ways. Wes comes in, the Wes comes out. You can't explain that.
Alright, here we go, boss. I will win this time.
I can't guarantee that I'm gonna stay.
We understand it. We understand it's personal. We understand it's against
It is.
us
It's
personally.
It's 100% personal. I just want to make this the most annoying experience
For every
possible.
For every time he leaves the stream, he hates one person that's in this crowd.
Exactly. No, it's and this I think most of this bag was filled by the time I've been stress eating, trying to figure out what's wrong with my internet.
Oh, yeah. Here, let me.
Your bag is filled.
But
What
it's
do you
very
mean?
good.
There we
It's
go.
it
There we
was
go.
filled. It's now almost empty.
What is
Oh.
in this bag? Can you read it for us? Because
It's-
it's blurry.
This pistachio berry blend.
There we
It's
go.
got cashews, almonds, cherries, pistachios, and white chocolate. And
Once
it was very good.
once something's out of my control, I stop worrying about it. That's like a thing I've been about me.
Yeah.
Typically.
I
Like, if
just,
my internet's out and it just goes out, it's like, well, that's not really something I can control.
True that. Yeah.
So he dumped his nuke on the boss real close, did a lot of damage. This is a good way to fight this boss. A lot of pieces you
and
can
this
damage.
is the same boss that he wasn't able to get to or get
Well,
defeated before, right?
Thanks,
Or
Wes.
is it-
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you want to rub it in, yes, that is true.
Yes.
No,
If that's the way you
What
want
I
to
did.
put
If
it.
you want to make it feel
that's
really
the way
bad,
you
right?
wanna put it,
Boss fight.
Then yes.
No, I'm just teasing.
that
Yeah,
is-
this is the same. This is the first major boss, Prince Veracity.
Ugh. Ah.
Uh oh. Choose your poison. Where are we going? Remember, we
I
can
did
hide
it too
behind the
early.
organs.
I love that statement by itself. We can hide behind the organs. You know.
Yes. So that
Yeah, I see
that'll
it.
protect
I
you, right?
see it.
All right, that's an option. And you can also kill them. If you kill them, they can't shoot anymore,
Oh,
and you'll get drops.
jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
This
jeez.
Gets down.
Oh,
forgot about
jeez. That was
He
not
made
okay.
it. He's all good.
I'm
Gotta
gonna
lick his
just
wounds
let
for
it
a bit
regen
and give it
little
another
bit.
shot.
Little regen. Okay, we're back. Whoa, jeez. All right.
There's the big clock hand going around. That's what I call it. Oh, he's brave. He's going in front of it.
Oh
Oh.
no.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
Ooh. Okay.
I didn't know I was getting myself into here.
Run to the other organ. Die behind the organ.
Caleb's over here like, brave? What do you mean brave? Oh crap.
What do you mean, brave? Oh no! What have I done? There's a lot of heat out there.
Now it's making a loop around, so you got some time. Now those will probably one-shot you. They are a big pink boy, as we say.
Yeah, this is traditional
Ah.
bullet hell tactics.
I just don't know how to get out of here. Like, maybe I'll wait until the clock thing comes by again.
It's pretty slow. You got some time.
Okay. I'm just scared now. I'm scared. Jonathan, I'm
You should be
scared.
scared. He's a pretty big guy. He's going to eat your dreams, no less. He's going to devour your dreams, as it were.
Just a measly son. What can I do?
That's part of Soul's lore. He was like, not a distinguished star, but still recoiled against the darkness.
Is that something you talked about? Because I know you talked about with us before. Is that you're a big
Jeez.
Souls fan, a Dark Souls fan?
Yes, I am. I'm a very big Souls fan.
So I know some of this is like, I don't know, not all of it. It's an entirely different game, but
Yeah. So because I'm not I don't consider myself like an actual writer, I just kind of borrowed an abstract lore approach
yeah.
because the more you write, the more likely you are to get yourself into a sticky situation like we're seeing right here. Oh, geez, run away.
Oh, okay, there it is.
Don't touch those.
Better head south. Better head south.
All right.
Attaboy. Remember your training. So yeah, so the lore is like that, and then yeah, and I don't know what else to say beyond that. So we have like a fair amount of lore. We wanted to do more with it, but as you know, we were just unable to do everything we wanted to. So
Yeah.
it's possible in the future that we may be able to like add content to the game, depending on reception and so on. So
Right.
we'll see. You're actually pretty close to killing him.
Yeah.
He's doing his last hurrah here.
Oof.
He's gonna make it. If he's playing safe, he'll get it.
There's these really giant purple things floating around.
Yep, they're gonna loop back in the center, and they're gonna crisscross applesauce and come back out.
That is
Watch
official.
here comes the clock hand.
Oh no.
It's getting close. He might be able to just DPS down right now. No. Oh, it's so close. Another little bout like that, and you'll get it.
Is
playing it real
crisscross
safe.
Is crisscross applesauce an official attack move?
Absolutely, yeah. This is like the technical development term we use. You take two things and go like this. It's like crisscross applesauce.
So what? Here's a technical question. What techniques do you use to script the attack patterns?
So, nice. First obligatory celebration. So all the organs drop stuff too. So make sure you get all the goodies. So that is a big question that I can answer in a fairly simple way. Is there's lots of layered simple behaviors. So we have what we call the projectile system, which is very intelligently named because it will. So don't. This is a one-time shot. So go ahead and get the other items that drop first. All the organs drop stuff. What was I going to say? So the projectile system has a robust set of features that allow us to create various patterns and like different ways of instantiating bullets and stuff. So we just tweak that to create various things. It's something we built ourselves. It's gone through a few iterations. We're going to pull it over. Now that we have a completed game, in theory, very soon, a couple of days, then we have a library, which is a really cool feeling to have. So we can say, okay, now we have, we want to have an enemy that shoots something, pull the projectile system over and make some modifications to it so it's a little more efficient, and we learn stuff. So now it's like really exciting that we can just pull over effects and whatever else we need. Cool. So I don't know how many you had because I didn't see it. Oh, the stream says 29. So you got 29 cores. So those are guarantees. If you die, you do not lose those cores no matter what.
Awesome. Very cool.
You get that after the boss like that. So, yep. And he's going to try his luck in the Crescent Plains.
Yeah. So
I like the design of this one.
I don't want to dive too much further in because of course we want people to buy the game and play it.
Sure.
But yeah. That was challenging, and I was on the edge of my seat, which is exactly the kind of experience you want.
But you beat it.
I beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Ooh. Whoa!
Oh, we got tricks. We got tricks, baby. Watch out.
Environmentals. Very good. Yeah, it was a challenge. It felt like a good challenge. It felt like it was fair. There were a couple points in there that didn't feel as fair, but by and large, it felt fair. Like if you usually the first time that you go into a roguelike type boss battle, you usually get just murdered right away. But it's usually just because you're. Did you see that? That was really, really cool.
Yeah, as you get more familiar with like the chaos on screen, you're gonna gain this like your mind's eye will see further into like the projectile movement and where to go. It's like a phenomenon that happens, but when you first start playing it, it's a little overwhelming. But with some time, you'll get more experience and that sort of thing. So.
Yeah, that's like you get in there and you're just like, oh, this is overwhelming. There's too much going on. I just like die. But then, at least often the well done ones they really give you a chance to gain mastery over the system. There's patterns there that if you start looking for them, you will find them, and you can get really good. In fact, you can, in most circumstances, often get so good that you can defeat bosses without getting damaged at all if you're really, really good and you really know what you're doing.
What you can do if you want to end the run and check out the unlocks, you can just get yourself killed. So after a run ends with victory or not, that's a way to end this if you want. Then you can check out the unlockables.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's one of the other cool features is the unlockable difference.
All right, let's
Options
just
again.
die here.
Valiant Death. Now we're gonna see what he achieved after the first level. Level 9. Goes up to level almost 16.
Almost
Got a new
16.
attack skill.
Yep.
Got some stat bumps. 29 cores. This is far better than the last time, which was like 3, I think. So
Yeah, it was 3 cores.
literally
last
like
time.
10 times the amount.
Yeah, excellent. Very cool. Spend cores. Let's take a look here.
So now he has some options. So he can pick variety of things here.
Okay.
And so just note that I think you have to be level 20 before, I believe it's 20. And this is actually not explained in the game now that I think about it, unfortunately. But when you get to level 20 with any star, you will get access to a utility skill slot, and then the drops of utility skills will happen in the game, and you can change. Those are things you can equip. You can upgrade them with Stardust as well, and try those. So, they have different effects and stuff.
Gotcha. Let's grab a couple of these. Couple upgrades here. Go through and grab the next one for all of these. Whoa, okay.
Since you unlock the 3rd tier, then you started getting blended versions. So it's like there's more things that are here now.
Okay.
And it's also worth noting that a lot of whenever you unlock something that will drop in the world, it does not dilute the drop pool. It's going to add it to it.
Okay, that's actually really great to know. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't dilute, because I don't like that. That's a pet peeve of mine. When the optimal way to play is to not unlock stuff, sometimes it's like, what are you doing to me?
Yeah. Absolutely. I've totally experienced that before. That's a nice checkbox. I like that.
Yeah, you can see what you got.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really good. Now, what about in terms of the tiers? Does a tier, like when you unlock a higher tier of the same thing, does it completely replace any lower tier?
No, you get both. You because an enemy can drop a tier 1 and a tier 2 and a tier whatever of the same thing. Yeah, it keeps increasing the chances. So like typically, like the lower tiers are more likely to drop.
Right.
And you'll see a visual difference in the game. Like they just get like bigger and bigger on the screen. So
Gotcha.
it'll be.
I see that there's a reset all progression button. Is that every single time, or is that just this one instance that you can reset it?
That is, you reset all progression.
Oh,
period.
So you could strategize different ways. Would try different like when you have. So that would give you back all your cores at that time, or
No, what I'm saying is that puts you back. That all stars are locked. Every star goes back to level 0.
Okay.
It resets all progression you've made in the game, as if you first turned the game on.
Is there a warning box that's like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" If you click that,
I believe it's. I think we have one. You want to try it out?
Yeah. No. I don't think I will be your guinea pig.
There should be an "Are you sure?" and then it's just for people who want to re-experience it or whatever. It's just nice to have a reset all progression thing.
All right. Well, cool. We're at 8:42 here. I'm just gonna go ahead and we'll just transition into our outro bit here. Chat. If I can to stop that game sound playing in my ear.
I'm gonna be back in about 1 minute.
Sure,
Cool.
sure.
30 seconds, maybe.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. Wes, you're back. I'm so
I
glad.
know. Back from the universe and back to where I first started from. What an adventure. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
and the funny thing is, it's like I've seen this, several times. Because Hex would come in and actually showcase it during our prototype and play
Yeah.
series quite a
Yeah.
bit. So
Absolutely.
I'd see it from, like I said, probably almost a year ago. Yeah, because it would have been a year or so ago because of I know that he was at GDX last year, so he's kind of showed some stuff here and there. But yeah, it's definitely like gotten a lot more polish to it, and just kind of seeing the mechanics kind of go into fruition. And just him talking about like the story of the different elements of the game. And one of the things that we haven't gotten into yet, but once you kind of move into it, are the different star types, which really greatly changes the game type. So
Yeah.
you're playing as Soul,
I've
right?
seen Titan
So
played before. Yeah.
right. So there's Titan, which is if you think about it, like as a really big star, right? So it has what you would guess as, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong,
More health, can
Jonathan,
take
but
more of a beating,
right. So
but
the Titan
slower.
star,
Yeah.
yeah, would have a lot more health, would have a lot more impact. Maybe smooth, like moves slower, right? But has a lot more oomph if you need to like just have something that needs to tank enemy types. So that's what's kind of cool is you can upgrade your stars as you were doing there at the end of your turn or your run, and then as you unlock different stars, you can switch them entirely, or you can decide which types of tiers that you want them to upgrade, and then you could obviously like if you wanted to just really upgrade one star type and try to play the game that way, knowing that there might be levels that might be more challenging because of that, because they may not be key locked into those types of level designs and enemy type designs. But it could be kind of fun to be like, I'm gonna do this whole game with one star and see how that turns out. Like you could do the whole thing through Soul, and that
Right.
might be an interesting gameplay just to kind of see which levels are really not made for that type of star, and see if you can kind of progress through them even just by leveling them up or whatever. So
Yeah.
I always like that.
I would. My guess would be is kind of like you were saying, Jonathan, is that the Soul is designed to be kind of a balanced approach, and so presumably the whole game could be defeated by any star, but it's really about the play style and how you might approach different bosses in different situations depending on which star you're using. Is there I hope this isn't spoilers, but is there like an end game? Is there like a final boss that you can beat and kind of win?
Yeah. So, well, if you beat there's 3 major areas, and then each major area has 3 bosses or one
Okay.
boss, and then
Okay.
there's 3 bosses. If you beat the final boss on the 3rd area, you unlock dark mode, and then you play dark mode, and it's 3 more levels with new enemies and new things, and the bosses and new mini bosses. The bosses are like loosely the same, but they're really souped up. Like when you're
Right.
gonna get slapped when you first come across Prince Veracity on dark mode. I think he's very difficult. So it's designed for experienced play.
Right.
Like very like you want to have high level stars, and you want to have a good grasp of the fundamentals and
Sure.
the passive tree and so on. So
Yeah.
does that answer your question? That's basically
Totally.
the end game. Is you want to look at dark mode.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
put some nasty things in there
Yeah.
for the
That's
veterans.
great. Very cool.
And yeah, and earlier on the star selection. So like Titan is a good example of a star where you're choosing what to get hit by because you're just a big boy and you're gonna get hit. But your stat multipliers, like the rate which you gain defenses, is very high, and his attacks are very inaccurate. I know this that you liked the soul rapid attack.
Sure.
It was
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
very fast, very precise. He doesn't have that. He shoots all over the place like a crazy person. But like your abilities are like a self buff, which increases like your stats temporarily, and then you have like this thing called flare. It makes this large projectile that just travels for a long time, damaging everything it comes into contact with. So you've got like um, he's very different than Soul. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, you've got a star like Calidus, and Calidus is very tiny and he has very poor defensive stat gain, but his speed is good, and he has a built-in blink and a built-in ability that you can unlock after a certain point. Well, the blink does damage between the two locations you blink between, and then his other ability is you can ignore like all collision for like a full second, so you can really be nimble and jump around, unlike Titan. So
I like that.
and
That
there's
sounds
also
really
other ones
interesting.
too. There's Vega and there's Gemini. These
Hmm.
are also those are a bit more advanced stars. You can unlock them as well. So a lot of cool playstyles.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's neat to see. Like, I mean, you were talking about how complex the systems are and how like all of that complexity, was difficult to design for and balance and everything. But also, the thing that it did give you, and what is cool to see that you're taking advantage of, is that complexity allows you to really dive into different play styles, different configurations, so that your players can really play with all of the complexity of the system. I mean, it's one thing to have a complex system, but to actually expose it to the player, give the player the chance to play with all of that complexity. I think that's really cool to see that you've built that into the game. Well, cool. We lost Wes again. Alas.
He made his choice. No, it'll be cool to see what people discover is broken. I'm sure they're gonna be like, "Hey, do you know if you take this star and do this little rain dance and wear purple underwear, you can just like delete the game instantly or whatever?" So it'll be cool to see what they can do.
It's like that. What's the Super Mario World where you on the first level, and if you like do this very super exact precise things, you're like rewriting the code, and then you could like jump to the credit scroll. I've seen it done before, and it was just like, how do people come up with this stuff?
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm sure
But-
people will figure out a way to do stuff.
But that's actually really good for your game, because that if you're getting that level of engagement with it, then that only speaks good things.
Sure.
So
Sure, you're right. That's true.
yeah, to please send 2 thumbs up to your artist. Art and sound design are just phenomenal in this game. Obviously, like, hats off to design. That's my world, so it's a hard job. And to your programmers as well, like implementing complex systems and then having to figure out all of the bugs that happen because of complex systems. Yes, it's a fun time. This is really you should be really proud of what you've done. Like, you don't have to take my word for it, but like from my perspective, you should be really proud of your whole team should be very proud of what you've done here. And I am wishing all of the best. We are 100% behind you guys on your launch on Tuesday, right? So
Yep, Tuesday.
very, very cool. We will be promoting that on obviously here on our, we'll talk about it probably on our channels. I don't know, I'll have to talk to us. I'm sure we'll probably mention it at our game dev meetup on Saturday. And there was another thing. Oh, I was going to ask if you were going to GDEX. If we'll see you guys at GDEX this year or not.
I don't know. I don't have any plans one way or another. I'm going to ECGC in April, East Coast Game Conference.
Okay.
So I'll be giving a. It's not for The Last Sunshine specifically, though. I'll be giving a development talk there.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
It is a really weird story, but basically, I met this woman who happened to be in the leadership team there, who's really nice. Her name is, what's her last name? It's Rachel something. I forget her name. I have to look at the email again. And long story short, we got to talking about it. Well, her husband had a Fortnite backpack, and I was like, hey, you play Fortnite? And he's like, no. He's like, but I don't play Fortnite either. I was just making small talk.
Right.
And he's like, no, my wife's did this thing for Epic, and she's marketing this and whatever that. And I said, that's cool. I'm working on a game. He's like, really? What is it? And we got to talking about it. And she's like, yeah. She comes over and I was like, are you the wife? And it's like, yeah. And she's like, so I heard you're working on a game. It's a small indie game. I was like, yeah. And she's like, I really like that sort of thing. And I mentioned that I gave like a small presentation at when was this? This was it last October? What was on last October? Yeah, it was GX Origins last October.
Yep.
And I told her that. She's like, oh, we could use people to talk. Like, you should submit to ECGC. And I did, and they accepted me. So I'm going to be flying out in April, giving this talk. And I don't know. That's going on. So I'm not thinking beyond that. So first is launch, then is ECGC, and then my plan at ECGC is to give the presentation. It's gonna be an hour long and not screw that up royally. And then my second plan is to network and see. And I have some guys trying to help me out with creating a presentation, looking for funding, because I want to try to get something a little more official. So. Sure. See how far away from that I am, because I have no idea about the investment world. Like, I realized like how little I knew about it when I was talking to people about it. And so another weird story, I have to tell you that another time, but like, I met this other guy who is working on this like blockchain tech and stuff, and we got to talk about my game, and he was like, yeah, well, how much do you need? I was like, I have no idea. Even if you like had your checkbook and it's like, okay, I'm gonna write you a blank check right now, what do you need? I'd be like, I don't know what the number is. So how to make the presentation, what to ask for, and how to like navigate that world is another whole thing I'm trying to figure out and get into. Yeah. So that's a couple little things cooking. We'll see what happens. We'll see what sticks.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, dude, funding stuff. Yeah, I only know enough about that world to know how much I don't know about that world.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Like once you get like you dip your toe in it, you're like, oh, and then it's like, whatever that thing is. It's usually a lot of things in life, and that's where I'm at. I'm in the exact same space, I think, as you are. Is that you know enough to know you know nothing. So,
well, hey, if you like make some strides in that department and you learn some good lessons, I mean, that could be a great talk at COGG sometime. Come back and like share what you've learned and talk about your journey and
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Ohio's home base for me. So
yeah, hopefully that's a journey that ends in funding. That you could come back.
Yeah.
We want that journey. That'd be a good journey. But yeah, awesome. Very, very, very cool. And I mean, oh, Wes is back.
Wes, you're the reason my face keeps shifting around in this presentation. I hope you're okay with that.
No, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, we're just
like
talking about like funding and stuff, but yeah, I was gonna say one of the things we really care about and really want to see is the game development industry grow in Central Ohio and the Midwest at large. And so it's always cool to see people like investing in and trying to one, just make great games. Like that's what we want more than anything, is we want make great games and have people play games and see people like investing and growing. And the company I work for, Digibancy Entertainment, we're a fully remote team with like people all over the world, but we're technically based in Columbus, Ohio, which is cool. So yeah, we're love people in the area. See people building games, making things, and obviously like everybody at COGG is people local in the area making games. But super cool.
I think that a lot of it just kind of comes down to what you're already doing, Jonathan, which is you've already made one game, you've redesigned that game and re-released it, and you've learned a lot from it, and now you guys are working on looking at another game too.
Mm-hmm.
And that just comes through just making games, doing the process and working on it. And I think that's what it comes down to these types of things. Is like someone's like, hey, you know, I wish there was more studios out here. Or I wish there was more of this or that. It's like we just got to make games, right? Even if it's like you said you started off with the little Unity Tinker Toy kind of thing almost. I
It
I
was
don't want to call
bad,
it,
but yeah, that's exactly
but
what it was.
but it led you down the path to here, right? And I think that that's something everybody should kind of keep in mind is that like your game that you think may not mean a lot to other people, you know, and I hope that it also means a lot to you at that point in time, will eventually go into fruition and become something big if you want to. And it really comes down to just making the game, like just trying it out, seeing how it works, and learning from it. Because now you have all this information, you know, Jonathan, whether it's marketing the game or building mechanics about it or things that you find interesting and about the game that you are making, that kind of you can amplify and then carry over to other projects. And that doesn't happen without you actually starting and making something. And that's our goal, is to help to kind of showcase these things and kind of be a vessel so that people can kind of see these things and get a chance to kind of showcase what they've been working on. But really, it means nothing without like everybody just saying, hey, I made this thing. I don't know what it is. It's kind of cool. Or maybe it's like, hey, I've been working on this, my blood, sweat, and tears, and forever, and I just want to have people take a look at it. You know, all those things in between and from start to finish is really how these things get built. Right? So I think that you know, and sorry about the intermittent like internet and stuff, but like I hope that's something people can kind of take a look at, is that really these things don't happen without you making the games and showcasing them and letting people share it and look at it and have fun with it. So yeah, I guess, you know, and that's, you know, I think everybody should just feel excited to do that and happy to do that. Even like giving feedback on games, being a part of that process is important too. So I'm hoping that if you are part of this COG community and you're like, hey, I don't know how to make a game, or I'm not really sure what to do and how to do it, give us feedback too. One, it can help you grow a better understanding of what the process is like in making games. But also it can all, you know, help the developers, you know, 100%. It really does help them so
Yeah,
much to have an
yeah.
outside experience.
It absolutely
Especially,
does.
yeah, especially people who haven't played the game before. It's such an invaluable resource to have people just to kind of give some feedback and their
It's what
outside thoughts
Jonathan was
about
saying
games.
before. Like, as soon as you hand the game to a new person, they always find you a way to
Right.
break it.
Yeah.
That's why events like Prototype and Play, or like big events like GDEX or other conferences, are really useful and beneficial. But so we're just hitting 9 o'clock here. I think we'll go ahead and wrap up. But wanted to just like a big thank you to Jonathan for joining us. It was
Yes.
super cool chatting with you and getting to play your game. I had a great time. It was a lot of fun. I encourage everybody. 2 days, March 22nd, The Last Sunshine Rekindled by Four Eyes is coming out. Pick it up. It is a fun time to play. So definitely grab that. If you could drop that link for the Steam page again, Wes, that would be amazing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Got you.
really great experience. Really had a super great time doing it. So thank you, Jonathan, for coming up and sharing your game with us.
Yeah, and thanks for having me. And I just want to say too, like, I'm really super thankful for my team, Danny, Oyvind, Dan, and Ruben. Like, you guys, like, we're going up on a release, and hopefully there won't be so many problems. But like, you know, all of us together, we made this happen. So it's really cool to see it come together. And I just feel really blessed that I have met these people. And thanks for the feedback from chat. Is actually pretty useful. So some of that information was passed down. And yeah, hopefully this is not the last time that we meet by any stretch of the imagination. And good things are to come.
Awesome.
Hopefully it's the more sunshine and not the last. No. Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, our game's a
We're
bit
full of
doom
fun.
and gloom, but I get your sentiment. Do you guys know where the concept comes from? Do you know what the heat death of the universe is?
Yeah.
This is the concept, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like meant to be like the end of all things. Of course, like
Right.
our son won't be around at that point, but that's the general idea.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All
no.
right. Well, we'll sign off, but thank you once again. And this is the COG Let's Play, everyone. We will be back with you on the
Well, next Saturday.
this coming Saturday the 26th, for our
Yep.
monthly game dev meetup. So we'll see you here on YouTube at 1 o'clock for that.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Cheers.
So see y'all. Have a good evening.
Bye.